Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Do you know, I was so ill.
But if he's not here, he's gonna have to meet us somewhere, unfortunately. Today, I'm going to be taking you round with me and the team as we view a few properties in the Midlands areas. As you know, the market isn't great at the moment, but we have managed to secure viewings on 3 properties that the agents have contacted us and said these might be of interest to you to flip. So come along, guys. We're going to grab some lunch, we're going to break down the numbers, and I'm going to talk to you lot at home about how I got to where I am today, hopefully inspire a few of you, and also what it takes to be successful in the property market 2021.
Add it up.
No banter. I don't think anybody can beat me at anything. And I wasn't even at first year. There's a lot of enthusiasm.
Add it up.
Off to the first viewing in Burton. We're about 5 minutes away, as you guys can see on the screen there. This house has got profit in it, but not a great lot of profit. There's about £15,000 to £20,000 if it's done correctly. With a contingency of 10%, it's still profitable. So that's why we're viewing it. If this property was on the market about 18 months ago, 2 years definitely, it would be £20,000 cheaper than what it is today. That's just the state of the market. So for sellers, it's a dream. For buyers and investors like us, it's very difficult to separate the properties where we can make profit from the ones where we can't and we might just break even. Today, I reckon we will pick up one of our future investment properties, hopefully. Fingers crossed.
Recognise that, 'cause you got the black van, haven't you?
Yeah. We're moving in 2 weeks actually.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we've moved to
Oh, yeah.
so we have a house there that's being renovated.
Oh, nice. I didn't see it go up on the market. You sold it.
It's not on the market.
Yeah.
No, we're keeping it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we're going to keep it and we're going to rent it out.
Oh, decent.
So, how many allowed in? Because my missus is here as well.
Yeah, bring them.
3. Oh, fantastic. We got a great deal on our old house, which kind of forced us to sell it because the money was just stupid. It was dumb not to sell it. And then that house that we live in now.
You did it all out, didn't you? Took all the.
There's no walls in the
I was
house.
going to say took all the walls out.
There's no walls downstairs, no walls upstairs. The whole house, the staircase has been, you can see through the windows, the staircase, we put them big windows in. But we doubled our money on there.
See FIFA and shit.
Yeah, well that's when the lads are around. I don't play, don't get it twisted, boys. It's only when Leon and everyone's there. Without seeing upstairs, I really like it, but without going into too much detail, there is a few problems I've spotted with it, but we'll talk about that when the agent's not here. What's the situation with this? Is it probate?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is
it done? Finished? Probate? Granted?
Probate. No, it's very early.
Oh, it's very early. Wow. Hot tub. Oh, here we go. 80 to 90. What is he?
That says 95, but take away 5 kilos.
You're on carpet as well, Rob. It doesn't work like that. Purchase price is 185. I reckon the renovation will come to about 25. The walls look like they're okay. There's not much things I'm spotting. Windows and doors definitely need replacing. Have you found the boiler? No. Boiler, central heating, I'll check. Doesn't need a rewire. Might need a new consumer unit. But so far, I'm really happy. I'm impressed with it. I'm going to speak to the agent now to see if I can get an end value. Any ideas on offers they've had or anything like that?
Your first view.
Okay. I want it. What do you think end value is done up to a really nice standard?
225, 230 at the minute.
I got it at 230.
Yeah.
Okay. Might be able to break it a little bit though with the current market.
Yeah, one will talk you out at the minute.
Yeah, because
you.
well, I bought a house the other day, 85,000, and literally I've had it a month and I sold it for 115. I had it a month, done nothing to it. I've not touched the house, and some investors come in and said I'll give you 115, and I was like, this is just nuts. Well, thank you very much for showing us around.
Yeah, no
I'll see you in the village.
Yeah,
anyway. Thank you very much. First viewing complete. I really like the house. £185,000 was the purchase price. The end value, the agent got at 230. I think the end value of that property could be 240 plus, especially in today's market. Anything above 240, depending on the finish, would be amazing. We will make a decision. We was the first viewing as well, which actually doesn't mean anything at all, because we can put an offer in and then the owner can be like, oh no, I want to do 3 or 4 more viewings. But what I might do is I might just put an offer in at like 160, which I know is not going to get it, but at least it doesn't fill the owner with like, oh, someone's offered 180, so I'm going to play the game for the next 2 weeks because it only came on yesterday. So I might put an offer in of 160 and just see what happens. Second viewing of the day, Smevik, it's up for 185. We are just pulling outside, so we'll give you guys a tour once we go in and let's see what happens.
We're going to do our social distancing. If you can stay together for me, but
Yep.
the key thing is, you see where that board is in the back room?
Yep, don't tread on it.
Under no circumstances go past that.
Oh,
point,
okay.
Because the floorboards at the back are weak,
Yep,
and we don't want any health and safety issues.
of course, no problem
So that's
whatsoever.
No further than that.
Yep, perfect.
Everywhere else is okay.
What's the situation with the house? Is it probate?
No, it's a deceased property and a family is selling.
Okay, this is a lot bigger than what I actually anticipated.
I'm only saying that because we've had lots of people come to view thinking they've got a massive garden.
I understand, yeah.
So that is the boundary.
Yeah, you can see where it's got to go all the way up,
There
yeah.
will be a fence in place by completion.
Oh, okay.
Okay, just to confirm that. All right.
Well, this is a cash purchase, isn't it?
Well, it's yeah.
Yeah, I've came under the intentions of buying it cash because from the pictures I saw it wasn't mortgageable.
I'm not sure whether you get a mortgage on it. But
No, I'm convinced you wouldn't. Needs a bit of work. Yeah, it could be. With the outbuild, them out toilets and the side of the house, it could be a great house. What did it sell for, the one up the road, if you don't mind me asking, please?
You'd need to probably have a look on Google because I'm doing it from memory because it was last year.
Yeah. What do you think this could be if it was done to a really nice standard? Because I don't know the ceiling prices around this area.
Yeah, but obviously I would recommend you do some of your own research.
Of course, 100%. I don't take.
I'll have a look just now. I'll let my gas in the car. I just need to get the sheets and
Okay.
get some lines. So yes, bear with me.
Thank you. It's a great house, but they want 180, offers in excess of 180, but the officers told me 185 would secure it today. A lot of work to do to that house. I'm looking at Isabella over there because she's adding all the numbers up. 35,000 to get that to anywhere near. It needs extensions, it needs all sorts of stuff doing. So, end value on this road, he said 230. Again, I know it's going to go for 240, but it's too tight. This one's way too tight. So, great house, but just left the second viewing. Don't think it's one that we're going to go forward with. We'll still make a phone call to the agents because it's got to be a cash purchase. So if we can probably call them up and offer them 160, 165 and explain to them that we can complete in 2 weeks, maybe that'll have some kind of leverage. It was a probate house because the person did pass away in there and it was passed down to her children. So he said it wasn't a probate house, but it actually still had to go through probate. It just might have been granted. I don't think he knew. Something I wanted to mention was that agent in there was very, 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 very over the top with how strict he was. We all had to wear masks again. Now, it's not a problem. If he wants us to wear a mask, we'll wear a mask. But then it was, you have to sanitize your hands. You have to, literally, he has to hold your hand as you walk around the house. He wasn't allowed to step here, wasn't allowed to step there. Wasn't allowed to do this, wasn't allowed to do that. It was just a shitty viewing, to be completely honest. But you come across them agents, and when you do come across them agents, there's no point being funny with them because they're not going to change the tune because they're never going to see you again. I didn't enjoy it at all. But like I said, guys, if you are dead keen on a house and the numbers add up, just smile. You're never going to see that person again, and just get on with the viewing. How you doing, mate? You okay?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I am around a little bit earlier if you got time. No problem if you haven't.
Yeah, probably no safe.
All right, sound. I'll see you in a little bit. That was Ben on the phone then. We have a meeting with him. He is the project manager on one of the properties that his building team are doing the work on in Burton. We're going over to speak to him because he's taking on 2 more of our properties in the Midlands to renovate. And we just need to sit down with him, have a conversation, basically we need to get his prices a little bit lower than what they actually are on this one he's doing for us, and if we can agree that today, then he will be our go-to guy in the Midlands going forwards. If he's happy, he'll have a lot of work. I'm going to ask him if we can film. I don't see him having a problem with it, but when the numbers come in, he might have a problem. But if we can't, I'll give you an update that what's happened when we come back out. He's taken on 2 more for us. I've given him a budget that I want it done in, and let's see what he comes back with. But yeah, very happy with the meeting, and let's see how this relationship grows over the next 6 to 12 months. Lunchtime, guys, we're going to run through the numbers on the first property. Second one's no good for us. Maybe put an offer in, see what happens. We've just stopped for some lunch. It's 1:30. We got our third viewing at 3:30 in Derby. When I first started my property journey, I had a whole different outtake on what my strategy was going to be. And it was buy as many houses as you can and own as many houses as you can. I think it was a status thing, really, trying to own as many houses as possible. Sounds really good when you tell people you own 50 houses or 100 houses, but you don't see the stress that comes with buy-to-lets, as in, yes, you can have agents manage them for you, and yes, you can rent them out to the councils, or even supported accommodation at the moment is huge. It has been for a while, actually. But you still have responsibilities. You still have to make sure you know what's happening with each house that you own. There's so many issues that come with buy-to-lets that you don't see. So the first 4 years of my property journey, trying to own as many houses as possible, is something that I wouldn't advise anybody today. I'd say flip as many properties as you can, deal source as many properties as you can, raise your cash pot, and then maybe after 4, 5, 6 years of being in the property industry, then grow a portfolio. Now that strategy is not for everybody. That's what I tell newbies who are coming in with a 50 grand pot, who are like, oh, I want to buy a buy-to-let and rent it out for £600 a month. After my mortgage payments, I'll clear £350. Makes no sense to me. But that's good because I've been through it, so I understand it. So that's why I feel I'm at a level where I can actually tell people what I reckon they should do with their money. Anyone who's starting out in property in 2021, I think you've started out in probably the toughest time possible. Deal sourcing, it's so difficult for people who don't know what they're doing. Flipping houses is really difficult because there's not much profit in houses at the minute. There's like 20, 30 grand in anything below 200,000. So you have to manage your builders and manage your costs on a budget to keep that profit margin there. If there's £20,000 profit in a house and you mess up, you could easily eat into 5 to 10 grand of that. And then obviously after you've paid your capital gains or your corporation tax, your profit's tiny for 6 months worth of work. So you have to make sure the numbers stack up and just do your due diligence on things. And also you need to have a certain way about you when you're managing builders. You have to be quite cutthroat and you have to be on the ball and you can't be a pushover. So you have to kind of like look at yourself as well if you're flipping in 2021. So my top 3 attributes I believe that you need to be successful in property today. Number 1, common sense. Common sense is not so common. So if you have none, get some. Number 2, communication skills. Now, property is all about who you know, and it's not always about what you know. So you need to be able to network, you need to be able to speak to people, you need to be able to interact. So if you struggle with speaking and you're shy or you're nervous, try and get to as many networking events as you can. That's key. Be around people who do what you want to do. Hey people, Saturday the 4th of December is the Property Circle networking event. It's the last one of the year. There's 100 people, limited tickets available. It's £75 a ticket. You get a free course meal. All your drinks are included in the price. It is a great way for anybody in the property world or people who are thinking of getting into the property world, a newbie, to come along and meet like-minded people. So guys, I'll see you there. And number 3, this one's a big one actually, patience. Patience is key. The property world can be very, very, very slow paced. Everything takes time, from solicitors to accountants to estate agents. You know, you could be chasing up constantly. So patience is key to me. Yeah, they're my top 3 attributes to be successful in property today. So we've completed the 3rd viewing of the day. We had 4 booked in. The 4th one we didn't want to see after we ran through the numbers at lunch. So this is the final one. This is up for 115,000. The only problem with this property is it's owned by a company, and whatever offer is accepted by the company, it stays open for somebody else to put an offer in until completion takes place. So it's a risky one. I love the property, £115,000. I'm happy to go up to 122,500, but I'll keep you guys updated. Back at the office, back at the headquarters, it's been a great day. 3 viewings. We've got to put an offer in tomorrow morning on 1, and the other one we've got to go through our solicitors to see if we can get the searches done in 48 hours. But for now, I'm actually going to spend some money, double boxed, train a day. It's a nightmare. Light work, you know, what can I say? Seriously though, no banter. I don't think anybody can beat me at anything. Anything? These are 470 quid, and he shook my hand saying I could have these for free if I beat him. So, nice one, please. What can I say? There's levels. There's levels, and then there's levels, and there's some 350s.